All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Get right into the market outlook. So again, last week we had a very impressive breakout out of the market. We had this, 370 area of resistance in the Qs that finally broke out. You can see this stage 2 breakout that we've been in very clearly in the subtrend. We've seen the same thing happening here in the SPY again. Very clear stage 2 breakout as we work our way back towards retesting the prior all-time highs that we set at the beginning of 2022. So it's taken us, about a year and a half to, have that breakdown stage, have that clear base. Now we have a very clear, breakout stage as we climb higher. And we have these two lines. This red, obviously, the resistance area of this breakout stage, and then we have this green support area. So as we get closer to the obvious resistance areas, when everything looks for the best, is when we want to start thinking more about taking profits, being much more aggressive in raising cash. And as we get those kind of pull-ins, when we think the trend's going to break to the downside, we want to look for those better opportunities to reload on those, those more swing trade opportunities, not the longer term, more passive stuff. So we're seeing, we're getting very close. Maybe this week we get a little bit more of a run up into this area. We want to be thinking more of looking for opportunities to sell than to, pick things up. Again, sector-wise, it was definitely a shocker that industrials would have been the first sector to hit a new 52-week high. Most would have thought, myself included, it would have been tech, but industrials for this, the sneaky leader as of this week. But this is a good sign to see. When we start to see sectors hit new highs, typically, its peers, the other sectors are going to follow suit. So we shouldn't be too surprised, if the tech sector is next, since it's kind of a chip shot away. But we do want to remember that, with these retests, especially these major retests, it's been a year and a half since it's gotten, to new highs. That sure, it might push a little bit higher as it did, on Wednesday, but often some selling pressure does kind of come in because the people that were buying here a year and a half ago couldn't be more excited to now sell and get out for break even. So definitely a good sign overall that we've seen industrial being the first sector to hit new all-time highs. It shouldn't be a surprise that tech doesn't follow suit with that in the next few weeks or so. And hopefully by the end of the year, we should be seeing, hopefully a retest of, the all-time highs in this market. So very good things to see broadly. We just don't want to get too overexcited in the short term, given how extended the market has been on this run. But other than that, very good stuff we're seeing overall. We're seeing a lot of sectors setting up. Energy still in this very wide, wedge that's been forming. You can see this kind of bigger breakout to this 120. The Dow Jones, Dow 30 names, very, forming very tightly under this breakout area, even on a weekly. Very tight consolidation here, so it looks great. A lot of good things that we're seeing out of the market. We can look over at even the utilities, setting up here nicely. A lot of names, sectors that haven't broken out dramatically. Some nice bases, Seaman, the staple space, and even healthcare. Healthcare at the beginning of last week looked horrible. Looked like it was going to, roll over, and be retesting support and kind of snap right back into the range. Same with the biotechs. So really no weak sectors, nothing very glaring to avoid. It just seems that the status quo is, we're going to continue, this drift higher, and the longer we can hold on, the better. For myself, the only thing I'm really holding from last week is this swing in Visa through, we both are 230. That's just kind of grinding higher. After it broke this major base, and really that, next major resistance again is this retest, which has been the overall theme of, the major sectors this week. The one name I have an order in is this DOX through this 98 versus 96. And we tried it earlier last week through 97, just wasn't really ready. So keeping on this one, has earnings in about 2 weeks. A few of the names on the radar, we have this FIS, nice little earnings flag, post gap up flag forming through this 60/60 half area. CMG, another one that's been flagging. We do have earnings in about a week, so we'll hold off on that one for now, but we do want to just keep an eye on this 2100 area that's been setting up for a few months now. OMC has earnings tomorrow, but we can keep an eye on this for an opening range breakout candidate through this 97, this blue sky breakout area. Been setting up for plenty of time now, where it could be ready pretty soon. SO, nice little base forming through this 72, getting pretty tight here. And you can give it, about a dollar risk through this breakout, earnings until August. You have a few weeks here. Maybe we get a little run up to retest at 76 before then. And last is TDG. Again, very Mickey Mouse flag, not the thing I would be the most excited about, but it has been very strong lately. We do know as the stock gets higher and higher and the flags continue to form, those consolidation periods do get tighter, and eventually that would be a topping pattern that could roll over. But here, risking about 2%, buy through 900, all-time highs. There's no reason why what's expensive can't get more expensive in the short term. So want to keep on the radar, but not really A+. Few Shakedown ideas. I know Shake's keeping an eye. The main eye on is CELH through this 155. You can see very nice flag forming here. Earnings aren't until middle of August, so plenty of time on that one. We have this Roblox, great breakout last week, just not the best close on Friday. Seeing if it's going to retest this prior breakout area and have that push back higher, but a little bit trickier of a setup. With this NET, looking to break the downtrend in the flag, it's more forming here through this 70, 70.5 area. A very clear flag forming here. Earnings aren't until August, so we got a few weeks in that one. MNSO, keep this on the radar. Did retest this 90, 50 area. Does need to consolidate some more for that third or fourth attempt through there. So if they want to keep on the radar. CFLT, setting up for a move through this 37.5 area. Just need to see a little more consolidation for that third attempt. And then the main idea for the week, trade of the week on the shakedown is this CHDN through this 135 versus 132, 130 area. Very tight here. Looks like it could be a very good support buyback up through this area. So it's great. And then we can move on to a few member ideas. And if there's anything I skip or miss for their ideas, again, just post them in the chat here and I'll pull them up. So from last week, we had this IRDM. You see this very big, flag forming here. You see almost a support buyback through this 61 versus almost 60, 59 area for an eventual move back into these mid 60s. Do have earnings in about a week. So, either you can take a very quick trade in it or just wait till it reports. Also, this PEG utility name, again, utility sector itself has been, basing pretty nicely. Hasn't really taken part in the overall ride. Most of the sectors have taken part in. So maybe there is some rotation here. If that is the case, maybe this peg gets a move through 64. We'll scan through a couple that were mentioned this morning in the chat. I know Jay's looking at this FIHL through this 14 recent IPO. Only 50 cents risk here, so it definitely could be worth a shot through this move here. Just given the trading it's had, I wouldn't expect this to just run up $5 or $6 a day. Maybe you get it dollar move out of this, but we definitely can see this very tight flag here. See what else we got here. We have this OWL with a very nice flag forming through this 12 area. Again, not the biggest fan of these cheaper names, but I know some of them have been working lately. See AMBA, definitely see this base that's been forming through this 85 area. Might need to set up a little bit more. Earnings aren't until September, so I definitely have plenty of time for that move through the 85. So it looks pretty good. What else we got? So that's really it that I can see from some of the ideas that are mentioned. They look pretty ready to go. This W again, just retesting here. Definitely need some time to consolidate. Got on a very crazy run here. So is there any ideas you guys want to go over before we wrap this up? Just drop them in the chat here. We'll pull them up. If not, we wrapped it up here today, guys. All right, guys. We'll see you in the chat. Push top ideas, and let's have a good trading week.